Hello everyone. Good morning all of you. Can you please be live? Okay. Congratulations everyone for your amazing success. So I am Prerna Nahar, career consultant at Bhavarathwa Design Studio. I reside over head office of BRDS, which is in Ahmedabad. So today we are here to discuss about NID that means for Masters in Design. Flowchart for today's seminar will be, firstly, we'll be talking about SOP, statement of purpose, creative skills, what you have to write there, what should be appropriate. So we'll have better clarity about it. And then we'll be discussing on portfolio, like what kind of portfolio they are expecting from you all. For this, we have Mr. Mridul Chilmulwar. Hello, sir.
Hi.
Yeah. So he is NID alumni. He has done his master's in NID product design. So he is here with us. He'll be discussing everything in detail about SOP as well as portfolio. He is associated with us from past many years. So I know everyone, every one of you, if you are students of the RDS, you know him as well. So he's an expert faculty. Apart from that, we have guest also today. We have Anubhuti Anthony, BRDS student who topped last year and pursuing education at NID, animation design, All India rank 1. Hello, Anubhuti.
Hi everyone.
We have Kajal Singh, apparel design, All India rank 1. She is also pursuing at NID, her education. She is also a BRDS student. And hello, ma'am. We have Janet Jacob also. Hello, Janet.
Hello.
Yeah. So she is doing new media design, All India rank 1. So they will also discuss about their experience, how they entered in their dream college. They will share their work also, statement of purpose as well as portfolio. Also, they will show what kind of portfolio they made. And yes, so this seminar is all about discussing what they have asked you this time. And you have like till 28th, you have to submit everything. So yes, this session is very important. So if you can be live, everyone, and attend the session, it will be really nice. Okay, so I'll hand it over to Mr. Mridul.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Hello guys, first of all, congratulations again to that you are at this stage where you are supposed to, what do you say, one step closer to maybe your dream college or maybe your dream department, whatever it is. फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट क्वेश्चन, कोई ऐसा है जिसको हिंदी में इशू है so that I would continue the entire session in English? Are there any people like that in this session? Okay, another I would say not a disclaimer, but I would say ki, the way I used to teach and the way I really love to teach or have interaction is more or less interactive session. So I would really love to have an interactive session. It's not like I'm here to what do you say, give instructions or something like that. We are in the similar, some other way, on a similar level. It's just that if you have any doubt, if you have any question, please feel to ask. The reason being, maybe your question would enable others to learn. Okay, it's an interactive, it's a discussion session where we share the knowledge together so that we all grow. Okay, without further ado, I'll start the presentation. Is it visible, guys?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Is the screen visible? Okay, great. So let's start. So what we are going to discuss about is introduction to DAT mains, mark weightage of prelims and mains, guidance for mains, why NID want an SOP, and like these are very general question, but in a more insightful way that you might or might not know. Okay, and then an approach to write an SOP because it's not the very general SOP that we consider while applying for the colleges like universities abroad. Okay, and importance of consistency. That's very important stuff. Okay, so introduction to that main exam. It's first again congratulations for being over here. To see the face of mains, that's a big deal. Then why that? First, can anyone answer why do you need to give that? It is an aptitude test exam. Okay, I think so. Most of the people are mute. So okay. So obviously to get so that NID could get the people that they want. So each year NID do experimentation. Each batch of NID is different from its what do you say its previous batches. So our senior had a certain different configuration in terms of the kind of people that are in the batch in terms of their bachelor's degree, in terms of their skill. The kind of people that are in my batch is not similar with my junior batch, not with the junior batch. So each couple, like after every couple of years, NID has that agenda of we want this kind of people, we want this kind of people, we want this kind of this set of people with set of abilities and all. So that is one of the reason NID keeps on changing its paper pattern so that the paper pattern aligns with the agenda that they have that we want this kind of people in our institute. Okay, the phases of mains is obviously SOP, portfolio, and then followed with the interview. So what NID did different this year was they asked you to fill your SOP during the form filling process. So now you are going to like give them the SOP twice, and we can like we'll discuss the significance of like giving your SOP two times. So mark weightages we can see. So this is your final score. It's a heavy final score, which is like 60% prelim score and 40% main score. 60% में 15% is common DAT and 45% is department specific. So out of your score, let's say you have 60 marks and उसमें से 15 marks is DAT and 15 marks 60 marks है total और उसमें आपको 30 marks common DAT में मिले and 30 marks department specific में मिले. So out of that 30, 45% would be considered and out of that remaining 30, 15% would be considered. Mains mostly it would be 10%, it would be either SOP, 10% would be portfolio and 20% would be interview. Always interview has more weightage. That's it. And about in between 10% SOP and 10% portfolio, it could be a different configuration as well. It could be 5% SOP and 15% portfolio. That could also be a possibility. Okay, so to make it in a even manner, so 10% SOP, 10% portfolio, and 20% interview. Interview will always carry more weightage. So guidance for means आपने जब ये form भरा होगा, like after getting the result, this is the most common thing that like you guys have got. So इसमें कुछ as such है नहीं to explain, but just few things to highlight. This time they have what do you say change the limit like for each question last year it was 150 words, now we have 300 words this year, so that's a change. And second what they mean by typed is आपको paper you don't have to write on your notepad or A4 paper and then you are using your mobile phone to like scan say up you click a picture and convert that into PDF. That won't work. They want you to write that SOP. They want you to write that SOP or type that SOP on a digital platform. It could be go to Google Words or Google what do you say slides or what do you say Microsoft PowerPoint or Words, whatever it may be. But please type it up. Obviously, you are going to write it on paper first, and then we'll translate that into the typed version. But they want it to be typed. बिकॉज उनको वो आपकी हैंड राइटिंग समझने के एफर्ट्स में नहीं पड़ना है राइट. So that's there. Then oh, okay. Another thing about writing SOP is like when you are going to compile your what do you say SOP in a single format. Always there are opportunity where you could beautify it. Beautifying is basically selecting the right font, selecting the right contrast, selecting the right color for your fonts or the typefaces that you are using. Background images are there, but never to overdo it. Try to keep it as simple as possible at the same time pleasing. One of the reasons is that is going to be one of the first impression that you are going to have. So why NID need an SOP? Like it's a replacement for studio test, right? Due to online thing, there is no studio test. But again, don't you think it's very obvious that because studio test nahi hai and then you have SOP, but being it obvious, but do we really know why? Like why really they chose SOP? It could have been just an interview or and portfolio. Before that, before coming to the point ki why NID need an SOP or why they choose SOP, we'll understand why NID uh, in the first place had studio test. What does studio test do? Is studio test test the ability of a student to handle any given situation, to handle himself and the situation, to have on-spot creativity, on-spot problem-solving ability, to work in a team. Because in studio test also there are a lot of instances in lot of department they have group activities as well where they put you into teams and they do certain tasks. So that is also a crucial part of a studio test. So due to this online thing, the studio test is not possible, which was extremely crucial. Okay, when the studio test used to happen, the studio test used to have a more weightage than the interview. Okay, so now the studio test is not there. So that's why they want to know you guys in a better dimension, in a better depth. So what does personal interview tells? फिर इसके बाद होता है personal interview. Personal interview when you have person to person, a person who is sitting in front of me, a panel is sitting in front of me, they can observe how you are behaving, they can observe your breathing, they can observe your body language, they can observe they can put you in a very tight situation when you are in a physical in a physical presence. So that is something that tangibility, that one-on-one conversation is entirely missing over here, right? You are sitting at the comfort of your home, you are not feeling that pressure at that moment. So they need some other tools, they need some other measuring devices, measuring methods to understand you as a person and what kind of person, what kind of thought process that you have. That's why they had to introduce something, and that's why they chose SOP, and that too not a standard SOP. जैसे GRE में होता है, you are writing 2500 words, 3000 words, and something like that. Okay, so it is because of due to lack of physical interaction. Okay, so approach to write the SOPs. We'll talk about that. So these are the three questions that they mentioned. Who are you as a person and all. So if we can consider the highlights of this is who are you as a person. They want to know about you, your journey. What about your journey? Journey के बारे में जानना is it means what? Basically the decisions that you took. Okay, what are the options that you had and why you took the decision? The decision that you took and why you took that decision that matters. Then why are you choosing design and discipline? So obviously you're a master's student, you might have done bachelor in maybe in design in certain specification. Now you want to change it, maybe you have done bachelor's in engineering or commerce or arts and now you are choosing a design. What was that moment? Why? What was the reason that you are choosing to change that line and like I want to go into the journey of design? Again, it is about decision making and how you can see your future, how you can see that this choice that you made today is going to help you in the future. So out of these three questions, if we all can understand the gist of this is who you are, your decision making capability, and the reasoning behind your decision making. That's all they want. Okay, So SOP, how to write an SOP or what is the approach of the SOP? I would say is to it's all about you. Okay, it's the reflection of your mind and your soul. So first and foremost, we don't have to get panic होने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. You got it. Just you have to relax and things will be fine. Although we know 28th is the deadline, but that is completely fine. You can have time. Although maybe you are in a situation आप में से बहुत सारे लोग होंगे यार मेरे पास portfolio नहीं है. I'm working in a company and I have to manage writing SOP. I have to manage writing creating or compiling my portfolio and all that thing. Look, everything is possible. If there is a will, there is a way. So first, take a deep breath, relax. The second thing that you have to do is, oh sorry, I missed something. So okay, so the second thing, how to set up the right mindset. Then we'll come the third, the trip to the memory lane. So how to set up the right mindset before writing an SOP. That is important. When you are in a correct mindset, you can write the right things. The important stuff that you have to keep in mind is good mood. You have to be in a mood. Few of you might be in the college, like final year of your uh, bachelor's degree. Few of you might be giving the second attempt or third attempt or even the first attempt, but they are not in the college, but they are not doing a job. Few of you might be working in an organization and all. Okay, so these are three categories of people that you have. Few people have time, few people have some time, and few people like are very busy with their work. But still, this is your dream, this is your life. So you have to take time. Pick any time. If you are a early bird, pick a morning time. If you are a late night owl, so pick a night time. Set up a good mood. What does a good mood means? First, you pick the preferable time. Then, good mood is always work in a warm light. Okay, you need to have a warm yellow or something like that. The reason I'm telling the warm light is good for relaxing and soothing your mind. Okay, uh, uh, by default our circadian rhythm, that is the rhythm of our physical body and mind, is in sync with the nature. So that is circadian rhythm. And if we can observe, whenever we go like in the morning and in the evening, or in the evening when we have this warm yellowish light of sun, going down or coming up, you feel always relaxed. So that's our instinct, is that's how we are hardwired. Whenever we go to shopping malls, we have warm light. Whenever we go to restaurant, we have warm light. Why? They keep you relaxed. Okay. So while setting up mood, have a warm light. Have good smell. Good smell, like smell is the biggest. Smell is one of the most crucial memory triggering element. Okay, याद है बचपन में like sometimes your mom makes certain dish and you smell it and it's like कि बचपन की कोई एक memory याद आती है, because smell is that strong. It is directly connected to your what do you say, memory part of your brain. So have a good smell, because the third step, that you have to go down the memory lane. That's why this setting up a good mood matters. Maybe you could listen to music, not the song. I'm not saying to listen to the songs. अगर आप गाने सुनने लग गए तो you would get distracted with the sound, like with the songs, the lyrical songs. Try to listen to good instrumental music so that जो आपका distracted part of your brain, that is focused on that instrumental music, where you can consciously focus on like recalling your memory. So third is going down the memory lane. Uh, Try to uh, recall the oldest memory possible. Imagine, like maybe you can imagine something from when you are a 3 year old kid, and maybe the first time you did something that was creative, that you feel was creative at that age. So try to go down your memory lane, understand how you have grown. Okay, what were the circumstances that made you who you are? Try to understand your behavior, like you are behaving today in a certain manner, you have certain habits. What were the origin? What was the trigger point of that habit? How it was originated? How your thinking process what evolved over a period of time? The reason being, everyone has a different circumstances, everyone has a different friends and family circles, and this all people what do you say? make us who we are. So this is extremely important to know who you are, because SOP is all about mind and soul. You have to represent who you are. That's why these are the question. If you want to answer this question, you need to know all of these things. Another very important question that you have to ask yourself is, when was the first time you felt you did something which was related to art and craft or design? Most of the people say, "Ki, I used to draw. I used to draw. I was good at art and craft in the childhood." Most of the people say that. But what was that one specific instant with you, specifically with you, that set you apart from the rest? I'm not saying that it has to be phenomenal कि मैंने ऐसा एक classy art piece बनाया. It should not be like that. It could be maybe just experimental. It could be something like that कि first time you ever explored on your own, you had a thought of doing mixed medium. What if I, while doing watercolor, I can use some other medium? Although that medium, that mixed medium thing existed in the world, but you discovered that on your own. So that was a eureka moment for you as a kid. So that is something which you have to think of. That is going to make you as a person special and stand out from the rest of the other. Don't have that intention that I want to stand out. No, you don't have to have that intention to stand out. You only have the intention to find the true cause, true meaning, and true incidents of your life that inspired you to choose this path. Another thing is that you have to keep in mind is, if you are doing job, and the moment you decided, why you decided to quit the job and pursue design, why do you are having that feeling? Okay, so you have to identify that, the root cause of that feeling, the root cause of that decision that you made. Ki, okay, I want to quit my job, I want to quit, I want to change my field, or I want to take my existing skill or existing knowledge or existing field to another level. So why is that driving force? What is that driving force? Okay, so you have to think about that. एंड राइट, क्रोनोलॉजी मैटर्स. आप क्रोनोलॉजी समझिए और क्रोनोलॉजी समझाइए लोगों को, वहां पे वो मैटर करेगा. एंड देन, what kind of events to consider while putting into your what do you say, SOP. The first experience, again, ये मैंने memory lane के वक्त ही बता दिया. The first experience you had with art and craft, or a eureka moment of your life. It could be events and incidences that defines your decisions for taking the design. Maybe there might be a person, you interacted with a person and you got inspired. You could always put inspiration that you had in your life, uh, like the decision that you made to quit your jobs and all that. So that kind of events you can consider, or it could be very innocent event from your childhood. Okay, as long as that event, as long as that incident is close to your heart and can relate to the decisions that you are making to pursue design, your journey, or something which is going to help you in the future. Okay, that is there. Another thing that I wanted to say was, okay, I forgot. अगर आया तो I'll tell you guys. Okay, so I remember. So even if you have to answer this question in 300 words, don't try to write 300, like in 300 words in the first book. Never do that, because your mind is flooding with lot of thoughts, lot of events. Plus, let it grow, let it flow. Okay, maybe for the question number one, you have written the descriptive answer of around 500, 600, 700 words. It's completely fine to write 700, 800 words in the first book. Then what you have to do is you have to go through it. Maybe you can show to us or any faculties that we have, and then we are going to, what you have to do is you have to identify what are common things, what is unique, what can be clubbed together to form a better event or to form a better structure. And in this way, we are going to, what do you say, compress your SOP and make it denser with meaningful incidences and meaningful, what do you say, meaningful message from your side. Okay, I think so. Anavi has a question. Ashmita also have a question. So can we have the question right now or what?
Yes. So for questioning, uh, after completing the session, we'll open the chat box, sir. So whatever
Okay.
question they have, I'll just read it out and you can answer. And apart from
Sure.
that, if they have questions related to ask, they want to ask to Anubhuti, Kajal, and Janet also, so they can specify the name and ask. So it will
Sure.
be after the session, sir.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Yeah,
So
it was not particularly a question, but just a helpful tip. It says so in the, I don't know, the rule book or the guidebook that only 300 words are allowed for each of these questions.
yes, yes, yes. So what I'm trying to say is
Mm-hmm.
when you started writing the SOP, when you have the limiter in your mind ki that I have to write it in 300 words, you are going to get panic because there are a lot of thoughts. You have to funnel it out. What I'm trying to say, let it flow. If you have thoughts, let it flow to like 700, 800 words, write it down. Then you are going to identify, ki, oh, these things need a better sentence, like sentence structure. I can compress that into maybe the sentence is 50 words. Maybe I can compress that into 25 words. So this is how you compress. Just don't bound it first and restrain it, let it flow, and then we are going to what do you say streamline it according to the question. Okay, chalo. Uh, the next one is most important, like to be honest with yourself. You don't want to uh, what do you say portray something that you are not. The reason being, it is going to reflect in the consistency. I'll be talking about the consistency in the last. Okay, so this is it about SOP. And again, what is a portfolio? It's fairly simple. You guys already had a portfolio introduction session and all that thing. It's a collection of your work. So I'm not going to go deep into the portfolio because we already had portfolio sessions and all that thing. And we are going to have portfolio session in the further. So collection of your work, it will represent on your behalf, because when you submit your portfolio to them, you are not there to explain कि सर मैंने ये किया सर एक्चुअली ये ऐसा है सर एक्चुअली वो वैसा है. It's not like that. They are going to interpret whatever they are seeing. So the message has already been conveyed. So we have to be careful about what we say, what we put in our portfolio. Again, it's just to identify a potential candidate and showcase your skills. So what they look for in your portfolio is your thought process. If you have put a project, then what was the process? One is a design process that's there, that is very well established, that anyone can follow and copy. But just because a process is established and readily available in the market does not mean everyone could follow the same process with that intensity and that tenacity. Another thing is, always while following a process, everyone has their own personal thought, personal takes on that process. That is one. So that's what I mean by thought process. If you are doing an artwork and you're putting that artwork, they want to know why you did it. Okay, what made you did it? What inspired you to do it? So it's all about thought process. Unlike undergraduate, where they more or less focus on skill, that the portfolio is kind of 60-70% based on skill, and then 30-35 or 40% based on their thinking ability and all. For PG's thought process, analytical ability, field specific projects and skills. If you're applying for graphics, so you need to have more projects related to graphics or basically visual communication and the skill related to that department. Exploration, as a person who really want to get into design, so exploration and variety is also connected to initiatives. It's basically you are self-initiated exploration kitne kiye hai, maybe you are interested in SDM, so how many books that you have read or how many case studies that you are going through, and on this kind of things do matter. That articulation of your thought. A lot of times we do tend to do a good project. Let's say you have a really good project which is powerful, which has an impact. But what happens is, if you are not able to articulate it in a meaningful and in a lucid manner, in a simple manner, then again that shows a certain quality and certain side of you. Okay, but again, here is the thing: if you have a really good, amazing project, like this is really powerful project, then articulation is sideline, because that powerful idea matters. If you have a decent project and you are not going to, you are not able to articulate it, then articulation comes in the like forefront. Okay, decision making ability and the process again, like while doing a project, while selecting the project, while selecting the type of work that you put and artworks that you put, they're going to understand what kind of decision that you make. Also, the your bachelor's, your SOP, and all that thing combined, good, they are going to understand what kind of decision that you make and what is your ability, what are the parameters that you think. Initiative, curiosity in general. So, portfolio is another reflective portfolio. No. The entire DAT is about a test of curiosity in general and scope of improvement. Scope of improvement is, to put it simply, if your portfolio is of a crazy level, let's say आपने बहुत सारे what do you say professional level काम किए हैं, then there is no scope of the faculties that they could teach you. You're already doing good work. So why to waste a seat on a person who is really doing good in that specific field? So you have to either not show a really awesome work, or you can show one awesome work and the rest would be mediocre and decent work. So that they know that you are good at certain something, but you still have a scope of improvement and you need NID. So that's what in general they look for in your portfolio. Now, important of consistency. What is consistency, why, and how? So, consistency in your first SOP. You have written your first SOP while filling the form. You have that prelims. You have given that exam, and you have like what was that exam? You put all your thinking process, thought process, and your opinions in that exam. Then you are going to write the second SOP. Then you are going to give your portfolio. Then you are going to give interview. There has to be a consistency among all of this thing. Let's say in the first SOP you said design मेरा passion है because XYZ reason. In SOP 2 your XYZ reason is no longer to be seen in that SOP. Then there is this lack of consistency. ठीक है, SOP 1 में तो इसने ये कहा था, SOP 2 में ये कह रहा है, पोर्टफोलियो कुछ और बोल रहा है, इंटरव्यू में कुछ और बोल रहा है. So there has to be a consistency among all of this thing. That's why when I said be honest with yourself, when you are being honest with yourself and when you know all of the reason behind your decision, you would definitely by default you will get consistency because you know the reason. So make sure कि जो आपने first SOP लिखा है during filling the exam form, go through that SOP, identify key aspect of that SOP, key events or key reasons or key justifications that you have given there, and then based your second SOP that you are going to give, like make sure that these two both align with each other or support each other. They should not contradict with each other. Then again the portfolio is a different story because अगर SOP में बोल रहे हैं I'm passionate, I'm a self goer, I'm a good team player and all that thing, I do a lot of things there. But अगर आपके portfolio में एक भी team project नहीं है, like group project नहीं, then you are saying that you are claiming that I'm a really good team player and you haven't done any what do you say collaborative or a group project. So that's what do you say? That's a contradiction that we have in your SOP and your portfolio, and both of them are a reflection of you. Interview is a different ball game. The reason being, what is happening is, I'll show this here. ये कौन है? Who is this person? Okay. Okay, people know. Okay. This person, irrespective of what that person is, this person is an ID. This is your DAT paper, SOP first and second, and portfolio. So when you submit your SOP and portfolio on 28th, the ball is in their court. The ball is in NID's court. So based on your both of the SOP, based on your DAT paper, based on your portfolio, they are going to judge you. They are going to create an image of you. Okay, ye person, maybe Rahul or Janet or Mrudul is this person. Okay, iski ye speciality hai. This has this kind of person. They are going to pass their first judgment even before interacting with you. So they have done the first level of assessment. Now the moment you enter the interview, this ball that NID is going to hit back at you. It's up to you how well you receive it, how well you like what do you say? give it back or you miss the shot. So it's all about if you have good consistency in your portfolio, in your dat, like in your SOP, and in your interview, it's good. And consistency कब आती है when you are honest, when you are fabricating answers, when you are fabricating things, वो consistency miss हो जाएगी, then you'll get caught. That's for sure. But again, डरने की बात नहीं है. You got it. Ajay, you have enough time, like 6 7 days. You're 28 now. You have 8 days. 8 days is enough. I would say 8 days is enough. Even if you are working, take dedicated time out of your busy schedule because this matters a lot. This 8 to 9 days is going to define your future. So for future, you have to do certain sacrifices. So please make sure to be honest, to keep in mind all of these things. SOP के लिए अच्छे से time दो. Write your SOP, or what do you say, compile your portfolio in order. If you are applying for two different departments, you have only 10 projects. So what you can do is for department one, 10 project, let's say you are applying for product design and let's say a new, like let's say interaction design. Okay, so आपके पास 10 प्रोजेक्ट है, 10 में से let's say 4 प्रोजेक्ट है जो प्रोडक्ट के ओरिएंटेड है. So when you are going to apply portfolio, like upload portfolio for product design, then make that for like that four what do you say project that are aligned to product in the first four, like that should be the first four projects, and that should be a little elaborated. On the other, the remaining six, which has combination of normal sketching skills and interaction related portfolio, interaction related projects, उसको थोड़ा कम रखो, उसको उतना इम्पोर्टेंस नहीं देना है. On the other hand, when you're applying for interaction design, so rest 3 or 4 projects which are heavily interaction oriented, उसको elaborate करो, उसको पहले रखो, and then product related portfolio को कम उसको minimize करो या फिर उसको कम करो, and then keep it at the back. So this is how you streamline your portfolio. And that's it. All the best to all of you, and now the stage is all yours, guys.
Yes. So thank you, sir, for the information. So now we have Anubhuti Antony. So as I mentioned, she's pursuing her animation design at NID. So she will also discuss about her SOP and about her experience at NID and her portfolio as well. Over to you, Anubhuti ma'am.
Hi everyone. So congratulations to all of you first of all. And I know it's going to be a very stressful 1 week for you, but don't take too much of tension because you've made it so far, so you'll crack it. So I'll start by presenting my SOP. Okay. So this is my SOP for animation. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Should I be reading it out? Like a quick read, or should I just point out what I'll just read it out for now. So why design? I've often been accused of standing too long studying a piece in a museum, from beautiful embroidery to intricate carvings. I've always been pulled by details and things. Design is everywhere, and I want to train myself to enjoy both the noticeable and unnoticeable details in everyday life. So we had a small word limit, so that's why we had to be very precise, and I kept it very short. So why animation? Observing still images come to life is extremely fascinating to me. Having a background in live action filmmaking, I have encountered a lot of problems which can easily be solved with the medium of animation. I want to narrate stories and build out of the worlds. What makes you think you can qualify for the stream you want to pursue? I have some knowledge of the moving image through my training in electronic media for undergraduation. Animation is about storytelling, and I have the building blocks for it. I know the strengths of good writing as well as the power of precise use of visual. So this was a very short kind of SOP that I wrote. And the introduction might seem a bit cocky, but it is true. So I stuck to the truth in this one. Now I'll move ahead by sharing my portfolio for animation. Is it visible? Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the first slide. So I did not have much work for animation because I had some background in film and video communication. I just put the things that I was currently working in at that time. I was working on a documentary, and I just made an animation for the documentary without any prior knowledge, and I included those things. And I had also done some comic, rough kind of comic on a social issue, and also some, like, I have this habit of reading a lot of books, fiction and non-fiction, and I love some scenes, so I just illustrated those scenes and I put that also here. So this is the first project, like animated snippet for documentary. I'll also show this video uh, after I show the whole presentation. So I put some stills and a link in this one with a brief description of what was happening in that clip. Here also an animatic. This was an animatic for the opening of my documentary. Basically, it is based on the rising rates of cesarean sections in private health facilities in India. These are some stills that I put. This is the comic I was talking about. It was very roughly made. It was not made keeping in mind NID's portfolio. It was made earlier, but I thought that animation and film making both are in the communication branch, right? So we need to be able to communicate our thoughts and our anger also, like in this case, in an impactful manner. So I had created this comic. I don't know if you can see it clearly, but it is based on that Garima Yatra, if you all are aware. So it's about this Dalit people. Like, there are a lot of rape cases in Dalits and they are just ignored. And when they go to seek justice, they just don't get it. And in the Garima Yatra, the most important thing that happened was that whenever some rape case or anything happens, uh, the media outlets hide the name of the victim and face of the victim. But these people, in thousands, they came to the streets and marched, and they did not care about their identity. So that was what I wanted to show through this comic. Okay, so the skill level is not that good, but I still put it here. And this is an illustration based on an excerpt from a book that I was reading. It's a sci-fi, and like the Earth is doomed because of pollution and all, and they are building a spacecraft to go to Mars. Sorry, to go to Mars. So I just illustrated that particular part. And this is a scene from Catcher in the Rye. Very emotional scene that I illustrated. Oh, and I kept a very few artworks. I like to doodle a lot, so I kept some things that stood out. Like, I know that this is quite unique to me, this style. At that particular time, I felt like that, so I put it here. And one digital thing and a painting. So this was basically my portfolio for animation, and I kept it too short, I feel now. I could have added more things. I'll continue by sharing my SOP for film and video communication. I got selected for that also, but my priority was animation. So it's more or less similar, but I did keep the answers a bit different. So why design? I love observing the world around us and its intricacies. It is full of design, rather, design is inspired from it. It is a study of the world which makes our lives more efficient. Filmmaking is an art that captures lives, and I'm passionate to pursue it. Why filmmaking? Like literature, films are a reflection of the society. It is a narrative woven through imagery and writing. It is the expression of different tales. I have many tales to tell, and filmmaking is a medium that I can do so and while making an impact. What makes you think you qualify to pursue this stream? I have some knowledge of filmmaking through my training in electronic media for undergraduation. I also have some achievements to testify for it. I want to attain mastery of the skill and tell stories better. I want to use this medium for exploration and study of our society too. So this was my SOP for filmmaking. So what happened in the interview? Like I had a lot of work to show for FVC, and they were asking me, why do you want to do this course? So I knew what my weaknesses were, and I told them, I kind of explained them, my writing is weak. Like I know some things, right? Even when I watch my old work right now, I can see some flaws in it. So I told them that, yeah, I do have strengths and I have some work, but I know what my weaknesses are, and I expect that NID will help me eradicate those. Now I'll present my portfolio for and do remind me to show you the videos as well, okay, after this is done. So this is the and this is the short film that I directed when I was in my undergrad. I was doing my undergraduation. Uh, it is based on a story of a mother who is like this. I won't reveal the suspense of it. So it's based on the sacrifice of a mother. Yes. So what I did was I put the storyboard of it along. The storyboard I had done it very roughly because in my graduation we were taught these things a bit, but not too much in detail. And we were all amateurs when we were making films. And I had this group with whom I was working in Indore. So this was my first film, and the thumbnails are like very very rough. You can see like pencil drawn, and I had this layout printed on which I was working, and it is not even a standard layout. And I put the frames in front of these. So then some still frames for my documentary project. And it's a feature length documentary. It's still ongoing because of COVID, the post production and stuff. And hopefully I'll finish it in this year. This was the poster that I made for my documentary and a brief summary of what is going on in it. Then here in Indore, we did some projects locally for local clients. So this is one video. I will show it to you. I put the small synopsis, you could call it, of the video here and the frames. Then we also did a music video kind of thing, like on the Akhri Khel that A.R. Rahman had released for Avengers Endgame, right? So one of my seniors had made a song, a different version, and so we made a video for it, and we created these mini sets, used those toys, and also used the. It was not fully our video. We used the snippets of the film also in that, but yeah, the music was made by. And these were some of the posters that I designed for our group's film, films, like when I was doing undergraduate. Okay, so this is also I put very limited work. So yeah, I need to show the videos. Do let me know if you can hear the audio.
If the mother
Is it
doesn't
audible?
Yes, yes, we can hear it.
Play it from the start. This was one snippet for interview. So I tried my hand at animation, and I did not know anything about animation. I had actually attended one workshop at NID, summer workshop in 2019, but that was also very basic. So there was no input on softwares or anything, and I just tried my hand at this.
if the mother
I
doesn't
included it.
breastfeed her daughter, who doesn't breastfeed her daughter, who doesn't breastfeed her daughter, that fourth generation daughter is born, and when she's born, she cannot produce milk. If
So I know that it is not finished. Like now, I do see gaps in the timing and all. But yeah, that this is what I had at that point. And this is the animatic for opening.
I had just fallen in love, gotten married, surprisingly got pregnant.
बहुत आश्चर्य लगा कि जब बहुत ज़्यादा सोचा था तब कुछ भी नहीं हुआ एंड जब नहीं सोचा था तो इट वाज गिफ्ट लाइक
We never thought that something strange was happening. It was happy times for us. I still remember that meeting.
She was not really interested in informing me of anything or having any discussions with me.
Very, very clinical, detached.
Doctor told you're in a healthy pregnancy.
So, when do you think you want to have the baby? What date suits you fine? How does labor actually, can you really schedule it that way? You have no idea what you're talking about. Labor.
And again, she gave reasons like I'm short built and the baby is bigger.
I was given a sonography on my due date.
He just very nicely assured me, I have gone abroad, studied this. I am the expert here. We will simply do a very fine 4-inch cut. We will be out. What are you expecting? Have you ever realized what pain is like? Have you ever felt you have been showered with love?
And I was told that there was a noose around my child's neck.
Say, what if the head is stuck? Brain damage. Do you really want to risk that?
Then she said to me, your baby could die as you sleep in the night. It was all just fear, stress, fear, stress, fear, stress. And it was building up in my system and I wanted it to be over.
Let's not get into this. Do it the way it's supposed to be.
My birthing experience was the least joyful experience of my life.
For my animated videos. This is my short film. I won't play it. Maybe I'll just play a minute or so. stop it here. This is available. I can maybe share the link of this video with you. You can have a look at it. The other video I cannot show while the recording is on. So if you want to look at it, I request the recording be stopped because it's not public. Otherwise, we can skip it. Is it okay? I think it's okay if I skip it. You guys might have got an idea. So, yeah, I did have more work for film and video communication. But like I did learn a lot from my friends also at the RDS because it is very easy to get intimidated from other people's work. But whatever you put in your portfolio, do keep in mind to get feedback as much as possible from a trusted few people. If you want to, whatever, if you get some contact from within the stream, like I was fortunate enough to be in touch with two people from animation. So they did guide me well on my portfolio. And I mean, you should do that. Get in touch with those people and ask their feedback. And yeah, that is what I'll say. And don't think that your work is substandard. What happened with me in animations portfolio is that I did not put much work because I thought like, oh God, what is happening? I don't have anything, and whatever I did as a finished work only I put it there. But it's good to have more work, and you are your greatest critic. That is true, but what NID wants you cannot say, right? Because they might be looking for some other things, and you already had it. And if you don't put it there, how will they even know that you are capable of doing that? So yeah, do consult and put whatever you have. And basically I did structure my portfolio according to the stream. So I put things that, like in communication, communication department, we have to be able to convey our ideas and stories. So I kind of put those, like I was not going to put that illustration of novels. I had done that as a hobby, but when the time to make a portfolio came, I thought, no, this is good stuff for a portfolio because it shows that I can visualize some paragraph, some write-up, which is a very important skill in animation as well as in filmmaking. So yeah, do look at your past works. There might be some good stuff, and think of it in a way ki how it will fit into the stream that you are applying. Okay. So that is all, I guess. Thank you.
Yes. So I have a question for you, ma'am. 3 key factors that proved most important for preparation of second round, according to you, which can help our students.
Don't panic, first of all. Like I said, you already have a lot of work with you. I was under the impression that I have to do again, like I have to create something really new for a portfolio to crack an idea, but that is not the case. Just look at your past works, even if it is simple illustrations that you have done, maybe your practice of anatomy also. You could use it and give it a different turn altogether. Like the tiles that I created for the opening of my portfolio, those are random doodles that I used to do on my class notebooks from undergraduation. What I did was I cut them all out, and I was thinking maybe I'll create an animation out of it, some stop motion or something. But it was too varied and it could not be pulled off in an animated format. So what I thought was, no, I have to keep it because it's wacky and it's a bit funky. So that's why I placed it and kept a doodle for my title slide and put it in my portfolio. So it does have an impact, right? Visually, the faculty might have noticed that, okay, she's drawn some really weird characters for Doodle. So that is one thing. Look at your past work and don't consider it substandard. And what else? Be confident about your work when you are in your interview, right? It's important to know your weaknesses, but don't downplay your strengths. That is really important. And in the interview, for me in animation, it was more of a chat. It went very smoothly. It's like, I think yeah, that's it. It was a very short period of my engagement with BRD. I did not attend the online class. I guess with Mridul sir, we did the design squad thing, but it.
So thank you, ma'am. We'll get back to you after completing the session. And so if you have any doubts, students, if you have any doubt, you can just ask Anubhuti. So after completing the session, you can address her name, Anubhuti, and the question. I'll read to her and she'll answer all your questions. Moving towards, Kajal Singh is also with us. Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Yeah, so she is doing her apparel design, All India Rank 1. So she is like from 1 year, she is at an ID. So she'll also share her experience. She'll share her SOP as well as a portfolio. So over to you, Kajal ma'am.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Congratulations. And the thing is that the very first thing which I would like to tell you all is this NID is not about these 2.5 years, what you're going to do there. It's about your past 20 years plus these 2.5 years of the period you're going to be here. So please please make it sure that you talk about what you have done throughout. And as Mridul sir was telling, it's about your soul and mind. So that is really important and you have to really show that in your work also. So I'll start showing my SOP. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
So we had a word limitation. So I actually started writing my SOP like with not just 50 words per answer. I started writing whatever I really wanted to write. Whatever came to my mind, I started writing in that way, and then I narrowed down to what is really important to keep there. So, like, why do you want to choose design as a career? So I come from I did my undergraduation in fashion technology from an engineering college, BIT. So I was surrounded by a lot of engineers and a lot of tech stuff was happening there. So that is something which was really fascinating to me. So what I mentioned here is that the thought of expressing ideas in the form of design has always amazed me. Design widens one's perspective, and when combined with technology, the outcomes are tremendous. The urge to express the idea with strong design perspective and sound technological knowledge shaped me to pursue design as a career. So as I mentioned that I was coming from a tech background, and at the same time, design was something which was really fascinated to me throughout. So I wanted to keep that thing here also so that they have an idea what I've been doing. Clothes, if I've lived in small towns and big cities, and clothes was something which really fascinated me, and the craftsmanship. So I mentioned that's why I want to work in this specific discipline. And then how what makes you think you qualified for the program that you intend to pursue. So here I've mentioned that I have already learned all this in my undergrad. I've learned through projects and internships, and I can assure you that I'm somebody who can contribute to the discipline. That's what I have mentioned. So whatever you have done throughout, you should talk about it, and maybe there could be somebody who has done BCom or somebody through finance or something, and you should talk about it because that will add a different perspective to the whole SOP. And I'll show my portfolio. So basically, I did this illustration to show whatever came. Like I was just like I did fashion technology, so what was coming in my mind, like what I used to do on regular basis. So I just try to, draw that, and that was my cover page. And a short introduction about me, like what I did and why I've added all that stuff, and what could you see in my portfolio, a content page. And so when all this was happening, even we had around 7 to 8 days of time period, and I was interning somewhere. So I used to manage my time, like after work hours, or I'll get up early, and then I used to try to make my portfolio. So even if you guys are working or you're in college, I think you can manage your time well. And so where I was working, there around that time, these people were working on 3D imagery, customized fashion imagery. So if you see in today's time, it's very difficult to do photo shoots. You're not like during the pandemic, and even before the pandemic, photo shoots actually charge a lot of money and a lot of time. So these people are working on a software, like they were actually training the data so they could actually create images. So what I used to do is I used to make 3D garments. Like we were working on a 3D software, and we used to make the garments. And like these were few of the work which I did there, like menswear, women's wear, and fashion development, and in different sizings. And then the data was trained and images were created out of it. So if you see, there was not really a photo shoot happening, but they were creating pictures through data. And this is my second project. This was my graduation project. So when I applied for NIT, I was in my 4th year of college, and this is what I was doing around the same time. So this is actually a convertible collection. So the whole idea was to make garments which could be transformed into another garment without not much of a change, and you can use it and reuse it. So we were thinking about the idea that nowadays it's all about a lot of pre-wedding shoots, and people want to look different in all the events. So we were thinking of creating garments which could be utilized for multiple events. So these were my mood boards, research board, client board, and color board. And these were my initial developments, what I was doing, like sketching and all. And then a fabric and trim board, like as all design people might have, like what they were actually doing. And then I added styles, like what sort of garments we are doing. So this was my first style. Second, third, and like, yeah. So I actually worked on three styles, and these 3 styles could be converted into multiple styles. So the first one, which you could see in the green and yellow, is a single garment which could be reversed. So you could wear it 2-way around. And the second one is a series of garments which could be, like you can take out the skirt, add top, change color, that sort of stuff. And this one is some Western sort of stuff we were doing, and where we have created one garment could be styled in 5 different ways. So I'll just show the images. So all these pictures were taken during the pandemic when all that lockdown was happening. So like if you could see it, it's the same garment. One side it's yellow and the other side is green. So that's how I worked on it. And this is one piece of garment. So we had one basic skirt and top, and we were changing the top skirt color, so we could have variation in that. And this is another one. So this is one basic white dress which we made, and we added trail to it and a top to it to create different looks. And apart from that, all these components were individual units, so you can actually mix match it and wear it in multiple ways. That's what we were trying to show here. And this was another project which I did in my second year. So this was a garment collection inspired from the Amer Fort. There's a place called Sheesh Mahal inside the Amer Fort, the Palace of Mirrors. So that was my inspiration for this project. And these inspiration board, color board, mood board. Yeah. So all these sketches I did, and these were the garments which I created. And with the same inspiration, I created a collection of jewelry also. And so I had one of the projects of visual merchandising. So and it was a very small project, but I still felt like I should add that in the portfolio because that was something different which I did. So I actually made a planogram floor plan for an art gallery. That's what I added here. And then it was my one, and I did my internships at one of the export houses, and I added that project. So I worked on two sort of collection, one women's wear and one kids wear. Yeah, so the women's wear collection was inspired from lines and structure, and the kids wear collection was inspired from farmers market. So there were a lot of prints and fruit prints and vegetable prints on these. Yeah. So these were the major projects which I did. And apart from that, I did some small DIY, which you all must be doing whenever you get time. So I just added those also. So this was a recycling project. So I used paper, old jeans, safety pins, and all to make some set of jewelry and some set of bags. And then I just added what I used to do, like some DIY sort of work. And and then I added one at the end. I just added some digital illustration, which I did. Yeah. So I included around 6 to 7 projects in my portfolio. So talking about my interview experience, so the very first thing which they told me is that there's a lot of variation in my project, and they were happy about it that I added a lot of different stuff, and I just didn't stick to making garments since I was coming from a fashion sort of background. And another thing was that, like as I was talking that I come from a tech background, so they'll definitely cross question you a lot. So one of the members in the panel asked me, like, you're talking about technology, you mentioned that in the SOP, and now you're talking in the portfolio also. Like, do you understand all this pandemic has happened because of technology? So, like that was a question, and like I don't know how to answer that. Around that same time, you might also, face a similar situation, and you have to be really mindful what to answer at that time. So I answered him, if I could still understand, like I answered him, technology does play a role, I could understand, but all this is because of human needs, and this interview which is happening right now is also because of technology. So I was like, you have to be really mindful of what you're saying, and like they'll try, like in my case, they were trying to question me a lot, like one by one. They were not really, giving me a chance to think and answer. So you have to be really prepared for that also. And that's it. Like otherwise, you just be confident, and like whatever you have done, just be confident about it, and show that throughout your work. Like there should be consistency. I think you're mute.
So thank you, Kajal. Thank you for your experience. I have a question for you as well. What was your approach towards the discipline chosen? Like what discipline you choose? What was your approach? How much did it affect the preparation and help you during the second round? Seeing the pandemic situation and everything.
Yeah. So like I studied fashion technology in my undergrad. So fashion and apparel was something which I always wanted to do. I was pretty much clear about it. So when I was working on my portfolio, also I was making sure that I am including the stuff which they might look for. I worked on the portfolio. I did my portfolio, like when I came to BRDS, my portfolio was not really finished. And I did my portfolio under Mridul sir and Stanley sir. So they really guided me how to make the portfolio, and like from the starting, I'll say they really guided me, and that's how everything happened. And it was a great help because portfolio is something which is really important because you are not going to be there. Like your work should speak there. So it's really important to show that.
Yes. And a lot of students get nervous about preparation as there are a lot of changes going on right now because of this pandemic. So what would you like to say them for the preparation and how they can move forward with it?
One thing which I have realized is that they're not really looking for perfect work. They're not looking for perfection. You just have to be yourself. Even if you have done something which doesn't look really appealing, but it is you. Like it is you. It shows your personality. So if you're really confident about that work, you should definitely add that work. And like just be confident, be calm, and like it's not really a big deal. And like it's sort of an advantage that you're at your comfort zone at your house, because when you're in studio session you might get more nervous than you will be in the interview. So take it as an advantage, and be confident and be yourself. And like just whatever you're talking, just be consistent throughout, and don't try to lie or don't try to pretend somebody else, because they'll catch you.
Yes. So that was a great informative one. Thank you, Kajal.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now we have Janet Jacob. Hello, Janet.
Hello.
Yeah. So she'll again share her experience. She is doing new media design at NID. So she will share her experience, her SOP, and as well as her portfolio, what she did. And in case if you have any doubts, you are also pursuing the same discipline, or you have any doubts related to other disciplines also. So after completing Janet's session, I'll open the chat box where you can write all the questions. My team will answer all your questions. So over to you, ma'am.
Okay, I hope all are awake. Can't see faces, so it's a little difficult to talk. So I hope I do justice to the time given. So to begin with, major points are all covered by Anubhuti and Kajal, to be honest. Some important points that I had throughout the journey and that I follow even today is, you have to embrace your flaws in a way. And second thing is having conceptual exercises at every point, you have to keep practicing it, conceptual exercises. That being, it helps you put things in sequence in your portfolio. It helps you in clarity of thought when you communicate an idea. Also, it helps you throughout the design process. That's something that I sort of learned over the process of preparation. And yeah, being observant and mindful. So these are a few key insights that I thought should be on highlight. I'll share a SOP. Yeah. So to begin with, I wanted my SOP to be very fluid and very not really presenting it to Shashi Tharoor on the other side. It should be another human reading it and another person who could relate to it. Because when I was preparing and I'd seen a few SOPs, it was more of vocabulary into the SOP, which is not supposed to be done in that way. It's more like it has to look real and natural. So I tried doing it as much as I could. First thing about why do I have to choose design as a career? Mridul sir also did mention, you have to create a map around everything that you have done till your 22, 23 years of living, whatever you have done, important points like why do you think you're choosing that discipline? What are the things you can relate to? These are the things you need to map it in keywords. Write it down, keep it in front of you, keep thinking about a lot of points that you can relate to. Then, for me, what helps is writing down, keeping it in front of you, and then trying to make building sentences, building relations between them, and then framing sentences. So that helped for me. The first question was about choosing design as a career. My background is I'm an engineer. So I come from software, the IT domain, and choosing this as a career was I was in two minds, to be very honest, because again, I was very intimidated when I started looking into work So I had to cut that off for a minute and then just look at what I had in my hand. So one thing that I focused more on was what I was passionate about. Why was I passionate about? So answering the question why for every single question is also a highlight. So yeah, being passionate about or being intrigued in design was my answer to the first question, and how I had an inclination since my childhood, but to get involved and explore the world of design was my initial opening. Then why did I want to take this specific discipline? I am in new media design. So I went through all the projects of new media design is how I began understanding about a discipline, about every discipline at NID. So since I was from a tech background and since I saw there are a few courses at NID which offer IT integrated courses. So I was mainly looking at that because I wanted to use my engineering information, like I wanted to put it to good use. That's all I wanted to do. So I come from the 90s, the transition to 90s of how technology had transformed was my line for this SOP. So I had seen this transition of digital media, of how kids were using traditional toys to shifting to iPads. So that was a complete transition I was majorly focusing on, and how much this digital media was immersive, how it helped interact with people were my major points in the SOP in this question. The last question was again about qualifying. I had to give a gist about where I come from. So bachelor's in computers was a keyword I was adding there. Then also the fact that I was open to learning and open to exploring different genres of art was another thing that I mentioned. And also just telling them that you are a tool to help, in this discipline, and you are not going to satisfy all of their needs, but you will definitely make a difference being there is all you have to, is what I was looking for in this. Okay. Then about the portfolio. Okay. So again, I intentionally started learning design just 6 months before I got into, preparing for NID. So right now, after practicing it for a while, I find a lot of flaws in my portfolio, but yeah, it's just a thing that I'll just share it out. So the thing is, I sequenced my portfolio in such a way that I put the important projects in the first part, jahan pe I put focus on the first thing they look at, because essentially the first thing you see in your portfolio and the last thing you see in your portfolio is something that the person is quick enough to understand, and they kind of associate you to that project. That's a few psychological points about how you could frame your portfolio. That's how I went about it. And so this was my BE project about phobia simulation. Then there was a logo creation project, and there was this one corporate concept, pod concept that I came up with. Then there was this one section I made for experience and one section for artwork. Experience being I had zero experience as such because I was just out of an engineering college. So I had to make sure that I put something that I learned from, in a way, in that entire engineering phase. So yeah, I had done a TEDx event. So that's what I put under experience. And under artwork are the basic things that I practiced on daily basis. So under project, the phobia simulation project, I wouldn't be able to completely show you what it is, but I'll definitely show you the entire structure I went about, because that's under patent process. So yeah, so I did create some, dividers. So this is how I went about placing it. The problem statement being on focus so that you understand what the problem is. Then giving a proposal as to what is your project doing. Then there's a graphic representation of the entire process is what I did, because this is actually under process, so I wouldn't be able to share the contents, but yeah, this is how I went about just giving some objectives of the project, conclusions of the project, and the technologies I used. That that was necessary for my field because the place I was going had a lot of technological balance. So I had to use that. And it was with augmented reality. So they did ask me a lot of questions in my interview about the technology. So be very mindful of the um, softwares you mentioned in your portfolio. This was a very small project about logo, but it honestly is about how you present it to them, because you have to explain the process. They're interested to know the process and not the output. So I broke down the entire process about how I went about the entire small logo. Okay, it hardly took a month, but I made a process out of it जहाँ पे brief लिया था, research किया था, ideation किया था. तो ये सबका process is necessary because in design process is a completely huge subject. So that is something I was also looking at. Then this was just a process. This was a requirement. And the drafts that I made for the client and then what they accepted. So again, the meaning behind the process, behind the logo, what was the entire idea behind it, color schemes and all of that was something I was focusing on. Another thing I was trying to do at every page was giving them a block where they would just understand in just what my project is, so that if they don't go throughout my entire project, they just get an idea, a glance of whatever is done. Then there was this corporate pod concept jahan pe I had learned Fusion 360 on Autodesk and I had a concept. So in order to show my technical skills, I had to, use some of my, it's just playing with your concept and just showing what you know in your portfolio. So I didn't have this ready when I was presenting my portfolio, but I think 2 days just before I got this idea, what if I put in a concept and then just propose it. So this is another thing I tried doing. And coming to the experience, I had done a TEDx event in my college. So this was the first TEDx event that my college was doing. So I made sure I was working in different parts of the event. So I had a lot of experiences there. And since it is an international event, I had a lot to talk about since I was also in the organizing committee. Major thing I was focusing on is just telling them about every experience I had in one line or two, because that was another thing they were looking at. I'm not really focused on just one thing, but I have an overall idea of what's happening around me, the awareness part. Then, right from making food to arranging the entire decor, staging, everything was a part. So that's what I was trying to portray in this part. Then the artwork was, since there was this pandemic time, so we had our submission of our portfolio in March, and we had our interview around in July. So there was this frame of 4 months that we had in the middle. So sort of make sure that the time that you have before your interview is also, you have some points to mention in your interview, because that was one thing that they asked me कि तुमने ये duration में क्या किया, घर पे बैठ के क्या किया, because you are not doing anything at this. Like if you're committing to getting into NID, what are the things you did? If you're if you're just out of college, that is one major question that they asked. These were a few, just a small business thing I was doing by making some artwork, selling it off. See, these things don't really work until you put it in front of, practice it basically. So a lot of people are buying these things, and I just tried to set up a social account, Instagram account, tried selling it off. So here I was also learning about social analytics, the marketing part, and a few things related to that. Then there was this another art page that I had where I was selling a few of my artwork. So another page. So yeah, that's all about my portfolio. About the interview, my interview was more of a stress interview because they were firing questions one after the other. It was a 30-minute interview. There were 4 people involved in the interview. I had a talk with my seniors. So yeah, they didn't mention there are going to be 3 people. One person is going to keep asking you questions. Another person who is going to be a psychologist. A person who is going to just be your behavior analyst. Like, he's just going to look at you, try to understand how nervous you are, how confident you are of your answers, whether you're lying. Because things like when you start lying, they don't know when you fumble, when you can't back your points. So they might just cross question at that point. So that's something you have to be aware of. There's another, the HOD of your discipline will always be there in your interview. So if he finds at any point that you're trying to, like specifically if you're mentioning technologies, if you do not know a specific software, do not mention that. Or just be very clear ki I have started using it, I haven't explored it much. Essay, like you have to frame it in such a way that you don't get, you don't fall in that pit because they might, the questions are unpredictable after that. And just make sure that, another question, they were constantly trying to say that Tumhara portfolio is not worth it. Why should I consider taking you for my... And the approach I had for the interview is that was my first attempt. So I was like, there's nothing to lose because I was seeing a lot of Indians. I mean, it was something that I will learn from. So just keeping the learning approach in mind and not really stressing up about the fact that agar nahi hua to kya. Just be like, theek hai, I'll just learn something from this. As simple as that. That helped. And also, like, if you can't answer a question, just politely say no. Don't make up anything because your time in online setting is fixed. They will cut you off if you proceed, the timeline. So they also have a fixed level of questions because when they started my interview, they were like, we only have 15 minutes with you. So you have to be very crisp with your answers. So if you can't, there are some very basic questions as to why NID, why this discipline, why should we choose you as a for this discipline. They are not looking for people who know everything is another thing. They want you to fit in the 15 or 10 that they choose because each one is going to have a different skill set. And it's pretty much that. And yeah, interviews are going to be very, after that you will lose confidence because they might question a lot of things. And it's not that you're not good, they're just checking how much you're tolerant to all of that. As simple as that, because this field is that it is going to be intimidating, seeing a lot of people work, because at NID itself now, at this point, I think Kajal and Anubhuti could relate. Like when we got into NID as well, sab kuch aata hai. It just gets to a point ki hum kya kar rahe hain yahan pe? Because that's how it is. So you have to just embrace your flaws and work on it and just learn from them. Pretty much that. And yes, my interview and also the points that they were picking up is they know your weak points. So they will keep, exploding that in a way because unhe pata tha mere paas experience nahi hai. I didn't have any experience. So they were constantly like, but experience nahi hai, to hum tumhe kyun? Things like that. So just have a good answer for that. And smile throughout the interview. That's all. That's all I can say.
Yeah. So thank you, Janat. I have a question for you as well. So 3 key factors that prove most important for preparation of second round according to you. So what were the 3 factors that can help our students?
Okay. One thing that it might advance this online interviews because during our time it was all new. So they might have gotten a few points that we were asked to keep scissors, paper, pencils around us when we were attending the interview. So if it's a skill-based course, it might have some making involved. So I would say until your interview, have some conceptual practices on, because that helps. If you even are able to associate some keywords to some forms or some of those building, that just helps you in, because at that point you're completely blank. But if you have already, had some experience doing it, you can just make that easily and you don't stress out much. Second thing is being mindful of what you speak about, because wo anxiousness mein you might end up spilling a lot of things that you didn't mean to. So those things, if you can't, online has an advantage that you can write things around and just keep practicing in front of a mirror. As simple as that. Like some things that I was doing is just writing some keywords that would help me in building sentences, because you might fall short of words when you're talking. So yeah, that helped. And yes, Mridul sir did mention a consistency point that is very important, because you cannot sound like a different person in every part of your journey. You have to have one experience or two experiences that, not experience, like just some points that you're able to relate to. Those are some things that will help you at every point, like even in the interview, to your, all rounds.
Yeah. So one more question for you. How was your experience at BRDS? Can you tell us more about the classes, especially if you have attended the online classes, about the faculty, about the help you got from BRDS?
Yes, like the branch that I joined was a newly set up branch here at Pune, which was in Chinchwad. And I was honestly very skeptical whether I would be able to get all what I needed, because I didn't know there are a few branches in Pune which was very well functioning, and but there were a few faculties which really helped me out. Aditya sir being one of them, and they gave me a good direction in terms of how I was able to conceptualize and basically represent my thoughts and ideas. So the thing is, everyone can think about a lot of things, but getting it down on paper is some skill that they taught me. And other factors about the atmosphere, about the people around. You are with a lot of designers when you're preparing, so it helps you open up. So that's another environment that BRDS did provide. So yeah, the friends I made were an important part of my journey. Yeah.
So thank you, Anubhuti, Kajal, Janet, for your experiences, sharing your experiences. Students will get a lot of help preparing their SOP, statement of purpose, as well as portfolio. So thank you. And now
I can share my portfolio if you guys want. Is that possible at this point?
So yeah, should be like everyone, I guess everyone wants to know about your portfolio. So because there are some questions related to it, like SOP related questions are also there, but there are questions related to the person that they are not from the designing background. So how can they prepare their portfolio and stuff like that? So if you can share your portfolio, it will be great for them, great help for them, because your background is also different.
Okay. So is the screen visible?
Yes, it is.
It was back in 16 that I made this portfolio, compiled this portfolio. It was printed portfolio, but so this was a content page. All the projects is so this was the first project. It was a personality chandelier. If you can see, there is on the left hand side, it's a making process. On the right hand side is how it looks. The concept was very simple. I wanted to showcase what kind of a person I am. So I created a chandelier with each ring or each what do you say, that ring showcases certain personality or certain likings that I have. So the illustration that is there narrates one of the characteristic or personality characteristic of mine. So and doing the photo shoots and all that thing. Okay, then this is sketching. So I used to challenge myself. So this is 5 to 10 minutes sketching, 15 to 20 minutes sketching. Then there are certain markings like measurements that I have put kitna bada paper hai and all that thing. I love to explore a lot of mediums, variations, pencil, pen, and you name it. I have kind of tried it. So this mobile was a it was a very realistic. It was a memory drawing, then pen illustration. Also, this was another challenge exercise where if you can see this photograph. So the challenge was this was photograph like from this angle. What if I'm standing exactly behind this house with the same distance? How this scenery would look. So that was a challenge to imagine and to construct that scene. Then okay, this is not to showcase the rendering part, but to showcase that. So during 2015 when I was preparing, I thought it would be fun to do what do you say, use alcohol marker. But at that time, alcohol marker were very costly, around 700 800 rupees per marker. I was like, my father will kill me if I ask him to what do you say, buy like get one for me. Then I studied what alcohol marker is by watching videos. Okay, लोग कैसे करे, understood the properties of alcohol marker. Then I realized, oh, alcohol it's just a ink in alcohol as a medium. Then what is the closest thing to alcohol? I said spirit. Why can't we use the medical spirit? Then I went to medical store, got the spirit, got pigments. So that is ink from inkjet printer. I experimented with different inks. Then the finally compactable ink where the print inkjet printers ink. I took the chisel tip, 10-20 रुपए वाला वो Luxure pen का marker, Luxure chisel tip marker. I took it, I dried it out, and experimental with the what do you say, composition of the quantity of spirit and the ink, and then finally was able to achieve similar result with this new developed marker. That was very interesting for me. Then this was a paper modeling that I did. Again, one side is the process and one side is the final outcome. Okay, now the photo shoot that I did, it was like कि घर के घर में ही करना. I didn't have a professional camera. I just had a point and shoot camera. So the light sources, I took boxes and created a kind of a like diffusers लगाए उसके ऊपर using what is it, tracing shades, and washing machine के ऊपर created a platform, black papers and all that thing. Created that studio environment and did the shoot. Then again, it was a diorama. I really loved. I got fascinated with this stuff. Like, how can people make so small, detailed stuff? So I again here on the left hand side, जहाँ पे मेरा cursor है, just a minute. Okay. So here on this side, I started with this. मुझे एक बहुत बड़ा farm बनाना था. But when I started collecting the material and planning it, I realized it's not possible to create farm within the stipulated time and at my skill level. So I thought, what if I zoomed in and created a small piece? So this was the final sketch, and I started creating this whole diorama. It was a great learning experience, and unlike this project जिसको मैंने घर के अंदर शूट किया फोटोशूट, it was very difficult for me to get the right lighting condition indoor, and it was again very difficult for me to get it outdoor because I didn't have the professional camera. I didn't have the enough skill to capture it. So it was a great deal of learning experience. Then wheelchair come bed, this was my engineering project. I just put one engineering project, but because I felt कि other engineering project, although I had good engineering project, but they were not maybe finished. That's what my thought was at that time. So explaining the concept, problems, and designs, and this is final outcome. Miniature power plant. Again, this is a physical model based. This was commission project. Uh, this is 7 feet by 5 feet, huge piece. Where the challenge was, they wanted it to be movable. It was 1:120 scale model of a power plant. This power plant is based out of my city. It's in Chandrapur. So we studied it. We did layouting. We did a little bit of modification. As I'm from a small city, so there small town, so there were not lot of facilities or not lot of materials, ready-made materials. So यहाँ पे जुगाड़ करना, identifying materials, scrap and all that thing to create this project. So again, this was another huge learning for me. Then exploring different medium, carving. The coin is just for the reference, how small that thing is. Carving like metal, charcoal, coal, and clays. Then again, okay, so this was I was talking about this product. It's just a concept, nothing. That's just a cardboard piece of cardboard, and वो जो numbers दिख रहे हैं, like that buttons, what do you say? जहाँ से गोली निकले here. It's just that tic tac. You get that 5 rupees, 4 5 rupees का tic tac का छोटा सा the piece. So I just used 5 of them. So the concept is when I was taking care of my grandfather, he used to always forget taking medicine. Even I used to forget it, and couple of times what happened is I gave him same medicine twice. So that was a blunder that I did, and then I realized we need to have something of a medical box. So initial concept was this, if you can see here. Then I did research, then realized कि ऐसे concept already exist करते हैं. So then I was like, what's the point of me designing something which already exists? Then the concept was, imagine the scenario for a young people like me who works in an industry or who goes out, and what if we can have a manual or a small portable thing. So I created it. It's just a concept. ये जो app है, there is no app such as सिर्फ मैंने मोबाइल दिखा इसको connect किया, there is no connector, nothing. It's just dummy thing. ये सब चीजें Photoshop में की गई है. So just to show the concept, how it is going to work. Then just exploring some other things. Then I didn't know, even being a mechanical engineer, I was never interested into softwares, learning softwares and all that thing. But then after looking at the portfolio, I realized I need to learn the software. And this was just watching YouTube tutorials. I learned the software in 18 and a half hours and was able to get this thing made. But here the concept is not just a lamp. It's fairly simple looking lamp. It's just a lamp with a speaker. That is also not like that was new. I never heard of this kind of thing at that time in 2015. So a lamp with a speaker, and when you have two lamps, night lamps, you can connect play as a 2.1 surround sound system. So these are the future that I could think of. I don't know how it is going to work. I definitely knew what kind of technology existed and how it works, but I never figured out the electronics part of it because I never wanted to. It is all about concept that I wanted to present because I know there are engineers who might take care of the electronics part. All I have to do is envision the concept. Then this was another concept that this was a small venture that I did with two of my friends during the rainy season. We have a problem. We all have raincoats. Again, this was back in 2015 when there was not a lot of facilities like bag ke upar covers and all that thing. In small cities, we don't have that fancy bags and all. So we thought, what if a cover for bag? But again, that was not a unique idea. Then the idea was, what if we could also cover our head? So this hoodie also becomes a pouch to carry this bag. So we did 18 to 19 prototypes doing exploring different material, went to a couple of nearby cities, sourced the material, did all the cutting and sewing parts, sourcing out, and I being a marketing team, like मैं ही बंदा बना रहा हूँ, मैं ही जाके सोर्स कर रहा हूँ, हम ही लोग जाके marketing and sales का काम कर. So that was another learning experience for me. Don't look at this. This is very typical Indian wedding scene. So I made this. So that was my mom's wish that you should put in. So I put it. So this is screen printing. So for this bag, we needed a screen printing. The problem was if we give outsources, it is going to be expensive. So obviously we turned out to YouTube. I learned the concept. I experimented with screens. I destroyed a couple of screens, then was able to do this printing. The entire print design to doing that print, making the jigs, exposing that screen and all that thing. I learned that. Then after learning, I explored it. I explored multicolored screen printing on my own. Did stencil screen printing. So this was another exploration. Wood tool again. I wanted to do carving. What is I learn? I got fascinated with like clay modeling. I wanted a tool. Then again, it was expensive. So I was like, I had spare wood. Why don't I carve tools out of it? I did that thing. Here it's just common wall arts and all. Then paper cutting, 3D sketches that I used to love. Other was like hovercraft. We made a lot of. We were fascinated about planes, airplanes, and other this kind of project. I did a lot of experimentation with this. Photography. It was a point and shoot camera, but I love photography. So some of my photography work, and then I thought, why don't I put my thoughts into a blog? So I try to create a blog, getting domain and setting up the blogs and all that. So that was the thing I did. But again, so apart from that, there were a lot of projects that I did. But I have to make a choice. कि क्या डालना है, क्या नहीं डालना है. You guys will also like face the same situation where you have a lot of projects. Then you have to make a choice. कि कौन सा डालना है, कौन सा नहीं डालना. How to streamline it. So yes, physical. I'm not saying that कि physical models are necessary to be in industrial design or to be in product design. The right attitude is. One of my classmate, Mani Teja, he convocated with me in product design. When he was in interview, he just had 2 pages, A4 pages. उसमें से एक paper तो कहीं से फट चुका था. Just to be, that was his portfolio. That was his collection of work. 2 A4 size paper. That was it. All that matters is what was on that paper. The concept, the good quality concept that he had. He got selected. He was with me. He convocated. Now he has his own studio. So, look, as a designer, I would say, to be very frank, there are a lot of design colleges. Why NID is apart, okay, is because NID focus on thought leaders. They want to create thought leaders. They don't want to create skill level. Oh, this guy can create amazing marker rendering. They don't want that. You can hire people who can do marker rendering for you. They can hire people who can do modeling for you. You can hire people who can do electronics for you. What matters is वो electronics जाएगा किसमें, क्यों जाएगा, why, what is the purpose, what you are going to give to the society. That's what matters. That's what a role of a thought leader is, to direct, to lead the society. So concept matters. So I would say ज़रूरी नहीं है कि you have to have 3D models. Even in my class, there were not many people who had actual 3D models with them in their portfolio, but they were still in the NID. All that matters is good concept. And when I say concept, जब मैं concept बहुत ज़्यादा word use कर रहा हूँ, what I mean by concept is it's a common assumption that designers are problem solvers. Okay, one part of a design is about solving problem, but what if there is no problem in the things that you are using? What if, let's say, or maybe you are not able to identify the problem, maybe you are not at that level to identify problem, but definitely you can improve the existing thing, improve the existing experience that you are having with the product or with that service or with the app that you are using. That also matter. Even if you don't have a complete project, but you can make a case study out of it. Okay, let's say I visited 10 ATMs of 7 or 8 different banks, and I found out that this is an consistency between the user flow, the way you take out the cash. So there is this loophole. If a person who is using who is a new user and he is going to multiple ATMs, he has to follow the different codes or different flow. So this is an inconvenience. I'm not saying this is a problem. It's not life altering problem, but this is an inconvenience. How to make a system consistent. So these are the few things that you could study and put into your portfolio. Yeah, so this is it from my side.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. It was a great session. Student will get a lot of help. We should conclude this session. So student will get a lot of help. There were many questions also. So you can call us on 98250 So this is our number. So in case if you have any doubts which is not resolved today, you can contact us on our number. That is 98250 57598. If you are already part of BRDS, then definitely from tomorrow you will have your session, so all your doubts will get solved. And if you are not a BRDS student, then also you can call us on 9850 57598. We are starting a session from tomorrow. It will be a 7-day session, 3 hours daily. You will have your class. So we'll be completing, covering each and every topics in brief. So yeah, it was all about this. So thank you. It was a great experience. And thank you, Mridul sir and Kajal, Anubhuti, Janet, for your valuable time. Thank you. So we should leave this meeting.